Alright, hey y'all, so Huddy here back again with another video. And before anything else, please make sure to like and subscribe. Anything like that helps a small channel like this one. So, the new Project Next update just came around, giving us 4 new hero revamps. One of those revamps was Sun. Before the update, Sun had a lot of disadvantages that honestly didn't make him worth using at all. So, one of the things that makes Sun special is the fact that he can make multiple clones of himself to attack the enemies. But like at the beginning of the game, it would be hard for him to even confuse the enemy, since he would have to hit his first skill on an enemy hero before he can even summon a clone. Now he can summon a clone regardless of whatever he hits, and that's a pretty good update in my opinion. Plus they also give him an extra mobility spell, which is gonna help him a lot, since one of the things that Sun was lacking was some kind of mobility. So with those new changes in mind, in this episode of Mobile Legends Pros and Cons, I will be talking about Sun. One of the main advantages to playing Sun is the fact that you can take objectives very quickly. Now, when it comes to the early game, Sun will be lacking in that department, and I will go more into that later. But once you're able to get items such as Corrosion Scythe and Demon Hunter, he is able to take objectives like Turtle, Lord, or even the turrets so quickly. So with his passive, which lowers the physical attack of enemies by 40%, he basically does so much damage alongside his clones whenever he's trying to kill a turtle or the Lord, since he basically just makes them as thin as paper. So at this point, all you have to worry about is him hitting them fast enough, which is very quickly, by the way. He hits things very fast once he gets to his 2-item power spike. And this also translates well into his ability to push turrets, since again the attack speed that he gets from Corrosion Scythe allows him and his clones to do an insane amount of damage to turrets. Sun's main advantage is that he's able to take objectives very quickly, and this ability to push turrets or take objectives only grows as the game goes on. But this means that unfortunately he's gonna have a very weak early game compared to other fighters in the game. Now, let's say you're up against an Alpha and you're Sun, right? So Alpha is gonna have that damage advantage on you, since not only are his 2 skills on low cooldowns, but his passive can also do a lot of damage to you. And all you really have for Sun is just the ability to lower his physical defense and basic attacks, which honestly don't do much without him having his core items. If you play Sun, just make sure that you play a semi-passive early game, since you are very weak in comparison to the damage that other fighters can dish out in just the first couple minutes of the game. So definitely play smart and just wait until you're able to take the turtle very quickly, so like that you can start snowballing towards your victory. One of the biggest blessings that this update gave to Sun was definitely the dash skill. So what I very much like about this skill is that while you cast it, not only are you getting a clone regardless of whichever version of the skill that you use, but if you use the version of the skill which dashes you forward, it actually will turn you immune for just a split second. But like that split second can be very good in a team fight if it allows you to avoid a major attack skill. And plus, you'll actually turn immune whenever you use Sun's ultimate as well, which basically it sort of kind of gives you 2 immunities in a single team fight, which depending on how you use it can be very fun to use. Being able to outplay your enemies by not only confusing them with all those clones, but also completely dodging their skills. I mean, that kind of sounds like a fun playstyle to me. Even though I did mention the fact that Sun has more survivability now because of his 2 immunities that he can use in a team fight and the dash skill, it is still very easy for him to get killed with somebody with a lot of AoE burst damage like Veil, or even somebody like Yuzong, who could even benefit from his clones because it allows him to activate his passive. You need to be smart about who you choose Sun against, because somebody like Alpha or Yuzong can greatly benefit from his clones. So Alpha's skill 2 can heal him up even more when he uses the skill on clones, and I already mentioned the advantage that you get to Yuzong. So overall, while your clones can do a lot of damage, if they are able to kite you and to poke you from far away while taking advantage of the extra healing that they can get from your clones, then you're more of a disadvantage to your team than an actual advantage. Another change that came with the new Project Next update was how armor reduction was like in the game. So before, you were only able to lower somebody's armor defense until they reached completely zero, but now they can reach -60. So this is a definite pro for Sun because, like I mentioned before, his passive can lower the enemy's physical attack by 40%, which basically increases the damage for any physical damage dealer in your team. They can do as much as like almost half as much more damage because of your passive, which is, I think it's not one of the things, it's not maybe one of the reasons why you might want to play Sun, but it is a definite upside to playing him. You do give your damage dealers or your team that little advantage of extra damage. So with all these things in mind, did the new update make Sun completely OP? I believe not. I think there are still a lot of things that you can use against Sun to counter him, and I think that's a good thing. I believe there are more OP picks in the game, such as Alice or Paquito, but in terms of where Sun is in the meta right now, I think he's a viable option. He has a very tricky playstyle in that you can fool your enemies very quickly, and I believe that to be a very fun way to play. If you are one of those rare people who prioritize taking objectives over kills, but also want the ability to troll the enemy whenever you want, then I definitely believe Sun is the right person for you. Or I'm sorry, I mean monkey for you. But other than that, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. If you have any suggestions about what hero I should do next, then definitely leave them in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Anything like that helps a small channel like this one. And other than that, thanks for watching. That's pretty much it. See ya.
Searching all along, facing twilight.